An inch and scores were level at the last change, but the Bombers finished the better. Hurd again in spectacular form with 6 goals.
The Hawks swooped early. Chick running hot.
Chick around the corner, a brilliant goal.
The Bombers struggled to stay with Hawthorn in a scrappy first quarter, and by quarter time they trailed by 7 points. Holland proved the focal point at centre-half forward as the tackling got tough and the goals even more spectacular.
Oh, look, he dodges round, then he boomerangs it in, brilliant goal, half.
The Bombers went to work on the 17-point deficit, and 2 goals just before half-time gave them an 11-point break. But the Hawks weren't done, Hargraves edging them back in front by 2 points. Hurd was again unstoppable, and at three-quarter time, scores were level. The fatigue showed, but the Bombers' centre-half forward was relentless. His last 2 of 6 goals for the day, snatching the Bombers at 21.
Essendon in front at half-time, scores level at three-quarter time. What a scenario for us to pick up the replay, and we join it at the opening bounce of the final term.
3 draws already this season. Hawthorn involved in one of them. And away we go. Final term of the MCG. Somerville knocks it down. Doolan, who's been terrific. His 21st possession down towards half forward. Loose ball. Graham, a resolute defender. Socket away by Hurd. Mercury has had a good afternoon as well. 15 metres out. Outside of the boot. Gets the goal. Well, his second.
Dennis, it defies logic. Essendon with their 5-man forward against a 6-man defensive unit of Hawthorn. The ball came to ground, and Hurd just worked so hard to get the ball on, and there we had 5 beating 6. It's a funny game, footy.
But it's that little fumble again. The Hawthorn have done it all day. Just that little fumble at a vital time. That time by Mark Graham allowed Hurd to come through, and then they had the loose man. So back to the centre. The Bombers with first blood. They lead by 6 points. Salmon has been very, very good in the ruck. He wins it again. It was a beautiful hit out to Kapler. Now, where's Dunstall? He loves getting on the end of Kapler's kicks. Oh, no, mate. Coming across the front of him was Holland. Here's Wanganeen, who's been fairly quiet. He brings it across the ground, and he finds Barnard. Now, he's getting some hoots from the Hawthorn supporters, being a former Hawthorn player. Centre wing. Trelevin is there, and Crawford coming in, Calthorpe on the right, and Stevenson, and the umpire will bounce it almost on centre wing.
The viewers may not have seen that ruck contest. Somerville really made Salmon earn that one. Salmon was awarded the free kick, but of course the advantage was paid.
So again it's Salmon versus Somerville. Somerville won that one. It's Calthorpe with a hurry kick to the half-forward line, pushing and shoving going on his Alessio. Tackle was from Collins. Crawford with desperation. That was very good by Crawford. Robin gets himself into trouble, but gets it to Trelevin. There's Chick. 2 of their interstaters combining at centre wing. It's thumped away by Hardwick. Almost a free kick to Calthorpe, not paid. And Barnard dives on it on centre wing. It'll be another bounce.
I don't think either coach could ask much more of his players. They are working extremely hard on effort to get the ball moving forward. It's a tough battle, this one, and of course, who knows?
Bombers by 6 points. They drew with Sydney earlier in the season. Very tight. It's been tight all day. Hawthorn at one stage, though, did skip away to lead by 18 points. That was midway through the second term, only to trail at half-time. A 7-goal second quarter from the Bombers, and Doolan working hard again close to the line. So a throw in on the outer side.
Do we see O'Donnell on the ball here, do we? I think we do. I think Sheedy's brought his skipper up on the ball in a ruck roving role, which he's used to, of course.
Salmon has been very good, knocks it down in front. Crawford likewise having a wonderful season. Bounces it around the boundary, pushed across by Barnard, and it will be thrown in. 15-10, 14-10. Somerville and Salmon again. For so long, teammates. Again, Salmon won it down off hands. Hargraves has a bounce, hugs the boundary line, kicks inside the 50. Wanganeen was up, nicely done, found it on the ground, got it away to Mercedes. He throws it on the boot. It'll bounce high in the middle. It does. Coming to mid at Mercury, hasn't got it surely. No free kick twice there. Kapler comes away. Chance for the Hawks in the opposite direction. Hudson, who's beaten 3 goals, has been very good. He's got this one inside the centre square. Goes looking for Dunstall low down. Awkward half volley. He collides with Barnard. Hargraves about 45 metres out, run down from behind, holding the ball.
Yeah, good tackle.
made a big mistake of not kicking it straight away around the corner and getting it up to the top of the square.
Players are looking to advantage the ball now, Peter, and they like to take that extra time.
So Hardwick to the centre of the ground. Here comes big Alessio at the back. He can't mark it. Stumped away from him. There's Mercedes. Further field is Lucas. Lucas with a long hand pass out towards Mercury. He's caught. Gets in a hand pass back to Lucas. Lucas caught. He gets in a hand pass. Robin is there with Chick. Chick brings it back, but it's all Essendon waiting for it. And Doolan's had a very good game. And he marks on centre wing.
50 metres.
Well,
actually, I don't think Doolan went off his line. I think
but Doolan was fainting to go off. The Hawthorn player anticipated, and you get pinged for going over the mark.
That's the rules, unfortunately, Peter. Until the umpire calls play on, you cannot move forward.
Well, I think there's a bit of common sense to be used in those two, as we see Doolan, who was trying to play on there. Danger kicked this one. For as far as Hawthorn is concerned, they jumped very, very early. Now Graham, he goes back inside to Crawford, who's been very, very good. And it's a free kick down the ground. And it will go, looks like it might be Harford to take this. Let's have a look. It is Harford. Daniel Harford, been an excellent player. To centre wing, he's looking for Holland, who's gone right out of the game. Big Alessio was there. There's Mercedes, Hardwick, loose men everywhere for the Bombers. O'Donnell brings it in towards the full forward area. Salmon will fly at the back, and he takes it top mark. He's been a good player.
He's certainly building up for this one mentally. He's had a great game.
A short kick out wide finds Jonathan Robrin. He's going short as well to the centre of the ground, and he finds Tony Woods.
So Woods just up from half-back. Not a particularly good kick. It wobbles down towards half. A hard one to grab there, and Holland couldn't complete the mark he should have. He ties it up on the ground, but it was a missed kick. Holland, though...
First quarter, Dennis, he would have really snabbled that one.
Oh, yes, would have taken the mark, turned around and kicked a goal.
It's amazing when you're not touching the ball a lot, how your confidence goes.
There's the bounce in the centre square. Somerville backhands it out wide. Alessio leads in the race. Robrin closing. Picked his pocket. Robrin needing support. Tries to feed it back. Treleaven paddles it out towards the boundary. It needs to go out for the Hawks. It didn't. Alessio picked it up. Spirals one low down towards half forward. Picked up by Lucas. Throws it on the boot. It bounces inside the 50 and then goes across the line.
I think you put that down to percentage football. Sheer persistence there by Alessio. He kept that ball in, and of course they've gained what, 80 metres?
Yep.
So half forward flank area for the Bombers. Salmon to do the ruck work against Somerville. He's won that battle, Salmon, again against front position, but Somerville tapped it. Graham got the quick kick. The hand pass comes back here to Hurd. Hurd brings it up in front of goal. Langford and Cummings. Cummings didn't quite hang on to it. Chance for Mercury. Back it comes to O'Donnell. Here's Doolan. Hardwick. He's got it though, Damien Hardwick from 55 metres, brings it back. Hurd sets himself centre of the back, punched away by Graham. He's given it straight to Cummings. Cummings back. Woods, not panicking, on to Langford. That was good play by the Hawks as Langford drives it out towards Crawford, who's been outstanding. He is a clever player.
Good player.
Brings it in towards centre wing area. Fletcher's been excellent since going to centre half back. The Barnard on to Simons. The Bombers go back to Hardwick. Hardwick chips it in low. It's no mark. Tapped on by O'Donnell to Mercedes. Back it comes to Simons. Good dodge.
Good evasion indeed. He gets it across to Mercedes. Mercedes inside the 50 once more. Essendon doing plenty of attacking, and finally they've taken a mark inside the 50, and guess who?
Gee whiz, if you had this guy on your side, you'd put him in cotton wool, wouldn't you? He's an incredible player, Hurd. His judgment in the air, his persistence, his work rate is just phenomenal.
I think he's the best player in the competition. That's my opinion.
Well, he's certainly in the top 5.
He's already kicked 4 goals this afternoon.
He's so tired. He just works so hard. He's an object lesson to any footballer that plays in any position.
Chris Langford could have had 50 against him.
Yes, it nearly was.
I mean, he'd well and truly taken the mark, but I rate him number 1.
Well, you often say
he's playing the hardest position on the field. That's why, Neil.
Well, it's often asked, what makes a super player, a class player? Well, you look at this guy, and you'll find the answer.
Going for goal number 5, his third of the second half.
Fantastic.
And the lead is out to
Bombers lead. So next goal, vitally important. There's Crawford again. It's a terrific game. Out towards centre wing. Hardwick. Oh, he did it very, very well, but the bounce should favour the Hawks. Oh, Taylor. Could have been almost holding the ball. He tried to beat the man.
In my opinion, Peter, if you try to crash through the tackle, which the boy did, a beautiful tackle by O'Donnell, the umpire should reward it.
Yes, he could have handballed it.
Yes, he could. He tried. He took him on.
I thought that was the name of the game. If you try to beat the man and you tackle correctly, that's holding the ball. But I've seen a couple of changes in umpiring attitudes as the year has progressed. Oh, straight back to Salmon was from Harvard. Fletcher, geez, got right on top there across half back. So Dustin Fletcher, normally a fullback, enjoying the, well, I won't call it freedom, but certainly more room to move. There's racing after Denham. Now it's Chris Danaher making space. Brings it into full forward. Hurd again. Magnificent James Hurd. And he's marked 25 metres out directly in front.
You'd like to be able to buy this sort of stuff in a chemist shop. You'd buy a 45-gallon drum, but we just keep praising him so much. But he deserves every bit of it. He's a super player.
So James Hurd going for goal number 6, and that is no mean effort. And look at this great camera shot at the MCG behind James Hurd as he comes in for his 6th. It'll be hard for Hawthorn if he kicks this. He stabs it low, it's right through the middle. So 6 goals to the Bomber champ and an 18-point margin. And it'll be very difficult for Hawthorn from here.
The thing I like about this boy, and you'll see it here on camera coming up now, is a lot of players may back into the pack. They drop their head, but look at this. He's backing back, keeps the head up through the shoulders. Look at that, and that's a sign of not only class but also tremendous courage.
Bit late now for the close checking.
Well,
it's not a good matchup there either. Woods isn't to play on Hurd. Now, what's happening here? Oh, goodness me, umpire. Don't do that at this stage of a game.
That's a bit over umpiring.
Oh, that is bad umpiring by Rowan Saws.
Well, he's an experienced
umpire. A bit of pushing and shoving. Come on, Neil, you don't hand it to them like that.
Well, let's analyse it. There was, you'd call a minor infringement, but
it's pushing and shoving.
That's all it was, and I think it should be allowed to pass.
Oh, goodness me.
It's a big call by Saws.
So these guys have busted their insides out all day and the game's decided like that.
Oh, he's missed it, so he didn't take advantage.
Well, I just think that's poor umpiring. Now, there's nothing in that. That's what's been going on. It happens every 2 minutes.
Yes, we see a lot of it.
Well, Langford, they've been let off the hook anyway as Woods takes the mark. Now he's kicked straight at the man coming towards him. And that's not good football by Tony Woods.
No, they have to attack Hawthorn and attack hard if they want to win this football match. This, of course, is when you see the mistakes start to occur. They're getting very tired now. It's a heavy ground.
But I'm totally against this second kick. There's been a couple this year where players have got 2 goals from the one incident too, which it's a bit dicey. There's Alessio having a quick kick and kicks it behind, but the Bombers getting right on top.
Yes, biggest margin of the day, up by 20 points now.
They've still got to continue because Hawthorn have proved they can come back, but the momentum is certainly with the Essendon team.
Ken Judge working the phone. Salmon.
It's had a great game, Salmon.
Deep in his own defensive area, wants to go, kicks it high towards the wing. Holland's the target. They need him to lift in this final turn. Harford, who's been very good, spins away. Kapler, forward of the wing. Kapler, long kick inside the 50. Big back at the fall of the ball. Berbikoff, the leaper, couldn't complete the mark. Simon slides in, ties it up. As we can see, plenty of company. At the bounce about 25 metres out from Hawthorn's attacking goal. They desperately need a goal. Just over 11 minutes till full time. And Essendon have come out with all guns blazing to start this final quarter. They've slipped away. The Hawks, can they reel them in? It'll be a free kick, I think, to Essendon.
Johnny Platten's dropped out of the game for Hawthorn, Dennis. He's been rarely sided in the second half.
Somerville to Mercedes, who goes wide across the ground. Berbikoff into space. Barnard breaks for him. That's the direction the kick takes. Barnard, cleverly done. Fending off Hargraves, aided by what was, as Neil said, a very good kick. Barnard on the wing, a look of grim determination against his old team. Kicks inside the 50, and Robrick goes back, claims the mark. Up from the back pocket. Back come the Hawks. Platten. He's at right half back. John Platten. Little chip pass close to the boundary line. Holland started so well. 3 early goals. Across the ground he comes. Awkward half volley. Missed there by Taylor. Picked up by Lucas. Feeds it off. Alessio went down. It's jarred free on the tackle. Salmon smothered off the boot. Mercuri tried to knock it down to Mercedes. The passing Paisano is not on the same page there. And we've got a whistle and a ball up.
They're getting tired now, Dennis, and there's a lot of mistakes starting to occur. They've fought hard. They're entitled to be tired.
So the bounce still time, just under 10 minutes. So they need a couple of quick ones, Hawthorn, to put a bit of pressure on. Salmon got that tap out. Hargraves, determined play by Hargraves to the half-forward line. Graham is there. Hardwick gets it to Mercedes, onto O'Donnell. Over the top is Calthorpe. Run down from behind. Good play by Crawford.
That's not holding the ball.
Well, that's what they've paid. I know, but they've paid it all year. When you run a guy down when he's going to kick, they've paid that all year.
He's in the act of kicking. The rule says that they're given a reasonable amount of time to get rid of the ball, and the boy was in the act of kicking.
And I've seen that, yeah, I know what you're saying, I agree with you. And yet all year they've paid that when the guy has attempted to kick, they pay it holding the ball for some reason.
It's a very bad interpretation.
I think Crawford enjoyed that tackle too, because he's copped a couple of hefty ones from Calthorpe today.
Well, here's Taylor way out at half forward. They're slowing it down, Hawthorn. They haven't got time to be slowing it down. They've got to get it down quickly to Dunstall. Oh, dangerous.
It's all right. It's okay.
Oh, they've got away with it. They've gained nothing. Trelevin.
That's right.
They gained no distance. And Trelevin brings it into the pocket. This could be... Oh, no, he's kicked it straight to Wanganeen, and he's not happy, Jason Dunstall, as you can see. Wanganeen, as the Hawks desperately trying to get back into this game. The Bombers on top. Alessio, he's a huge man.
Yeah, Salmon is tiring too. This is where they need some height, Hawthorn.
So Steve Alessio goes for the spiral kick. It's a beauty too. And that's a very, very good back by McCabe on centre wing.
McCabe plays on immediately, the South Australian, to Collins, who comes across the ground to Taylor. They've got to manufacture a goal here. Taylor out wide. Langford, he's pushed up a couple of times in the last couple of minutes. Just moments ago, he was well inside the 50. Now he'll kick from about 60. There's Dunstall up ahead, closely watched by Berbikov.
No holes to move into, Dunstall.
20 points down, Hawthorn. Short one. Well, that was indecisive.
That is terrible.
Yes, that was poor. Simons to Mercedes, and back come Essendon. Bone just on the ground, delayed going at that ball. He should have. Barnard came back and collided with him. Barnard's hurt, but he did the hard work. Lucas, the beneficiary, goes down towards half forward. Woods knocked it away from Hurd. One of his few victories. The hand pass comes across. He got it from Chick, did Woods. Goes down towards half forward. Simons hasn't got the ball surely, and he'll get the free.
Yes,
they're tired now, the players.
But Bone has just come on. He shouldn't be tired. He's a couple of bad errors there. And they're not out of it.
They just can't finish their movement. That's the trouble. They're just lacking some quality across half forward.
The big difference was Fletcher going on to Holland. It's taking him right out of it.
Now, very rarely, you say, coaches can make winning moves. Well, that was one of them. Full marks to Kevin Sheedy. Because Holland was threatening to take the game right away from Essendon early.
So, centre wing. Salmon. Beaten by Summerall this time. Well played by McCabe.
Yes, it was.
To the half-foot line, Bone. Now, little Platten's got it. A clever hand pass, that one, on to Woods. Now, he's got to finish properly as he drives it long.
Go at it again. Salmon, decisively. Down towards half-forward. Woods, well smothered there by Hurd. Dragged off it by Hurd. He tried to knock it out, did Woods eventually. Bone goes in on top of Hurd. And the umpire hurries across to make sure nothing else transpires. Richard Williams, number 34. So a bounce down towards centre half forward for Hawthorn. Salmon props in front. The leaper from behind Somerville gained about 15 metres, but directly to Kapler. Kapler kicks well inside the 50. It's floating the Hawks' way. It was almost tailor-made there for Graham, but Fletcher did brilliantly going back. Got a fist on it. Simons goes in short to Denham. Denham runs up towards half-back, kicks towards midfield. Important ball here. Crawford did well to knock it away. Stevenson breaks away. Back inside the 50 with a kick. Berbatov. Good grab. Wanganeen pushed back into his path. Wanganeen, in fact, getting the free kick. But Berbatov, oblivious to all of that, coming up, took what was a courageous mark. Haven't seen much of this young man.
So Gavin Wanganeen, kicking it across the ground. A little bit of a delaying tactic there to run the clock down. 5.5 minutes left.
Fletcher's his man.
Hardwick. He's chipping it short. It can be dangerous sometimes to do this.
They do it well, though, Essendon. They must just practice a lot of training because they do it so well.
Another short one coming in. Doolan. Oh, he's dropped it, Cockatoo Collins. He's got plenty of time. No one coming at him. Here's Hardwick. And that kick straight to centre wing, and the mark has been taken. Salmon's been very, very good. Trelevin goes over the top to Holland. Holland breaks away and kicks it wide. Oh, big leapers by Graham, but he didn't take it. Fletcher. Fletcher from a standing kick towards centre wing. No mark to Alessio. Here's O'Donnell. Cockatoo Collins. Pace gone out of the game. Mercury. He's on centre wing. Mark Mercury. And Hurd is loitering around here at centre half forward. I'm sure now he's going out to the flank. He's going to kick it in the direction of Hurd. Here he comes from the side. Crawford is there. Battled his heart out all day, Shane Crawford. And Langford has a grin on the face as he comes charging through.
I think the real smart football's gone out of the game now. We're seeing players just down in their last reserves, and it's going to become a tough slog.
Hurd goes up, clean possession, hand passes over his shoulder. Crawford, another possession. That makes it 26 for the afternoon. Back towards midfield. The bounce accommodated Doolan on the burst. Probing kick well inside the 50. Holland goes back. Took the mark. Salmon appeared to be hurt momentarily there. Back it comes to Holland. Lucky to get away. Close to the boundary line. Mercedes. It stayed in, but Mercedes got it. Centres it. Barnard forward of the wing. High kick, so another test here for the defence. Coming to meet it, Salmon. Salmon and Holland. They tie it up between them. And the umpire will play it to Holland. Yes. Away comes Woods. They trail by 14 points, and Woods kicks a shocker.
Well, that's what's wrong with his game, Tony Woods. Even at Collingwood, his kicking is terrible.
Doolan to Hardwick. Doolan, a very influential player. That must be a free kick to Cummings.
So Hawthorn's good work now is being done in defence where they're trying to save the game. Very little of their good work's being done forward where they can win it.
Dead right, Neil, as we see Cummings. They've been pretty valiant, but they just had vital times. They've had fumbles that have cost them goals.
Well, no excuse for that kick coming out from Woods.
Well, he does it too often, and he's got to improve in his disposal. Now, Scott Cummings has had a good battle down there with Langford. Probably honours with Langford. He's going for his third. Cummings, he's a long kick. Will kick outside 50. Scott Cummings.
He's won the football match.
Now, will that clear? Touch right on the line by Holland.
He puts in that vital...
well, I don't think they've got time anyway. Just under 3 minutes. It'll be a miracle. They have to kick 3 goals.
I'm a bit surprised. They've gone with Bone at centre half forward, and they just have to get something through half forward, Hawthorn, and they haven't been able to do that.
Langford gives it away this time, directly to O'Donnell. He's forward of the wing.
He won't be rushed into anything.
17-13, 15-10, so Essendon, with Hurd still working hard, have finished the stronger. Pretty open forward line now. Only Salmon is back there. O'Donnell decides to go across the ground and finds Mercedes after the long wait, so the clock continues to run. We're down to 2:20 remaining in the game. All square at three-quarter time.
Do you call this using up time, Dennis?
I think so. Mercedes eventually goes for distance. A high one coming in. Salmon worked out of the contest, so he robes it. The hand pass not particularly effective. The knock-on was, though. Platten storms away towards midfield. Taylor's got it. They need a couple of very quick goals. Treleaven has it on the outer side.
So Craig Treleaven, he's got to move it quickly. They're messing around too much. He's Bone.
They also have to retain possession, Peter. No good at just blazing.
So Bone drives in the direction of Dunstall at the back. Doolan put his body. Yes, here's Kepler. There's no one there for the Hawks, and Gary O'Donnell should take an easy mark. He does. So Essendon have all the answers as the short chip kick comes in and finds Peter Berbikov.
Berbikov side the behind post, just over a minute remaining then. Kicks around the outer side. Somerville in from the side, but Bone did very well. Outnumbered 2-on-1. Strong hands in the pack. Centering kick, terrible. They've given up again. Mercedes got it. So I think when they look back over this Hawthorn, they'll be very critical of themselves, because at various times this afternoon they were a big chance to win the game. Not so now, but that was symptomatic of some of the things that have happened. Calthorpe with dash will punish them at the other end as he finds Lucas.
Yes, they've got the half forward on so many occasions this quarter, and just haven't been able to get through that line with any degree of certainty. It's been a struggle for them nearly all day since Holland's dropped out of the game.
So Lucas, a chance to put the finishing touches to what will be a good victory for Essendon.
This kid's a promising player, Dennis.
Nice size. They were down by 18 points midway through the second quarter, Essendon, so they've come back terrifically well. Goal by Lucas.
Only 21 points, the Bombers. Hurd kicked 6, and for Hawthorn, Dunstall kicked 4, Holland and Hudson each kicked 3, and the crowd was 43,481.